Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're working on a series of tools for musicians, dulcimer players in particular, and our focus today is going to be populating an empty database. Now, we did some work over the holidays. I did a couple just kind of pop-up sessions, so I'll walk through what we did there. But, oops. Okay, so the first one was I got this this grid view working. So this is the lazy V grid, which will reshape depending on how things go. So let's rotate, and now I get 4 per line, and it all does its thing. The whole thing there, oh golly, what it came down to was we had our background. Let's go there. And originally we had size to fill. Okay, so you have two choices, size to fit or size to fill. Well, is it up a line? Whatever it is, wherever it is. Well, one of them stretches your thing out so that every bit of the view is covered. The other one shrinks your view so that one dimension is maximized. It doesn't, whichever one comes in first, it does it. The one I did was is it stretch to fill? I don't know. I have to remember, but, yeah. So no, whatever it was, the one that makes it big enough. Okay. But what that does is, when it draws it takes your boards. I don't know why the refresh is slow. Oh, the video. Okay. So when it draws the boards, if you're in that mode that stretches, that basically makes the whole thing big enough so everything is covered in your view, the actual content stretches outside the bounds of the window. And what happened was the lazy V grid just started filling up according to the size of the background image, not the size of the screen. And so when I took that stretch or size to fit or size to fill or whatever that term was, when I got rid of that, then it just cuts off where it needs to, or maybe it stretched it funny. I don't really care in my background. It's just a picture of boards. And if they look wider than they were or a little skinnier than they were, it just doesn't matter. So I didn't pursue to make sure which way was getting handled. But the big thing was the lazy V grid now is sized to fit the screen, not sized to fit my maximum image. Okay. So silly stuff, but that's the way it went. Hey, Tooks, welcome. The other one we did was a calendar, and we just did the bare minimum stuff. I don't even know if I'd call it the minimum, but I added these things, some filters. Well, I'm not sure if these are going to be done as filters or as sorting, but I want to be able to do by name, by date, or by distance. And if it's distance, we're going to have to put something in to say where you're distance from. And then we have filtering by name, and then just a simple, a kind of minimal view it's got a list of whatever events came back according to month/year, and then events within that, and then go to the detail view. Detail view is not done at all. I just stuck some stuff there. And Mudshark too, welcome. So it's just kind of the bare minimum classes to get it going, and sort of the most simple view, which is a linear view. I'd like to do some calendar views, and I'd also kind of like to do a sort of Gantt chart view. Just if you popped in a given month and, there's 4 festivals that week, they'd show up like that. That may be too far to go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how far to go with this stuff in some ways. All right. But anyway, we put some bare stuff in there, just the user interface, no business logic at all. It's just something I figure the stuff we're doing on the regular schedule, I'm kind of more TDD and that sort of thing. This was just like kind of work through the user interface. And then the last one is the metronome. And that one, I'd say the interface is moderately complete. I'm not sure the spacing is quite right vertically, but this lets you increase. So this is your time signature. You can go 2, 4, or 8. these define the sound. So the top row is pock, and the middle is talk, and this one's tick. So pock, tick, tock, tick, pock, tick, tock, tick. The idea is that you'd have as many columns as you have in the denominator. Okay, so it'll either be 2, 4, or 8 with this. We could do 16ths, but basically nobody in the kind of music I'm working on does 16th notes for their music, so that's the way it goes. Now down here, this was supposed to say quarter note equals 61 BPM. The problem is the characters for quarter note, half note, eighth note, there's 2 quarter note ones. One of them works and one of them doesn't. The one that doesn't is the one that's right next to the half note and eighth note. So for whatever reason, the Unicode for these things doesn't work. I also tried a couple of fonts, Euterpe and Musica, that are supposed to have musical characters. I don't know if it's just not part of the standard font list or whatever. I don't think I installed them, but at any rate, that was the ones in the suggested box in the whatever you call this thing, the character list or whatever it is, character viewer. It thinks it has those notes for me, which is good. There's half, quarter, eighth, 16th, 32, and then some weird variations. And then this quarter note up here, but I don't have a half note up here, and the eighth note doesn't really fit. Doesn't really look like it's in the same font, So I'm not sure what to do there. I'll probably put some images. Prod fishy. What? Yeah, it'll just be images. I don't know why. It tells me race, ethnicity, or religion. Seems like, I don't know. I just have default settings on that. Allow him to post. Let's see if I can allow. I have no idea, but welcome. And yeah, your first experience to be semi kicked out. Okay. All right. But anyway, this has, go up, go down, or you can drag the slider to get a faster movement. This is a little more one at a time kind of thing. And when we do this, we'll have to do some sound work and maybe a little bit of a little timing work, right? It's a metronome, beats on a steady schedule, and we'll convert beats per minute to milliseconds so that, how long do you pause between them? And we may have to do a little of extra stuff. We'll see. Okay, but anyway, that's those are future stories, just kind of previews, tastes, and back to what we're doing now. Well, we have somewhere here a resources. We have all these songs, so this isn't the full list, but it's so I should show the ones we have because we have a couple new ones here. So the idea is for these three, this is tools for mountain dulcimers and hammer dulcimers. So my daughter has this magazine, Dulcimer Player News. I'm trying to make an app for it that corresponds. And some things you might do, this notion of first lines, if you got a song, you might, if somebody gave you a little memory boost, you might be able to remember it. So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that'd be enough to make you remember how the alphabet song goes. And so normally we would have the notes for that. We can, let's go in the jam log. We can put those in here. So I'll put them in here, but let's see, D, A, G, F sharp, or something. Okay. Okay, so if I go back to my song in here, all right, here's the first few notes. All right, and the idea is we have a list of songs, and they're ones that are kind of standard in jams for these dulcimer players. This is like maybe 15. The real list should probably be 50 or 75 or something like that. I don't think it's going to ever be more than a couple hundred. But, I have these songs, Amazing Grace, time signature, key signature. The tuning for dulcimers is a sort of a 3-string guitar we play on your lap. Is what I tell people. We've got tab, notes, and so on. So we have this information we're tracking, and our goal for today is to preload this in like we used to do, but we made things editable, and that kind of messed up the other view. Okay, so yeah. But we have this notion of first lines for hammer dulcimers, first lines for mountain dulcimers. They play tab 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the jam log. So the jam log is like I participate in a normal jam and a weekly jam, and I keep track of what songs we played. So with this, this is a sort of a quick tag. I can say, oh, we played my song 2 today. Bang, that's the last performance. And maybe we played song 1 again, and now it has 3, and this is the last performance. And then I can go in here and see when were all the performances. I can add some remarks and things like that. So what we'll have, well, we have these notions of like most played. Okay, I played this one 4 times now, and 2 for this one, and 1 for these, and none for that. Or last played, here are the ones that I marked today. Yeah, so, and the overall structure is, I'm just going to have probably between, well, at least 6, maybe 10 tools total. I don't know. We'll just see what people come up with. You might have a practice thing, or maybe a little lesson of the day or calendar blip of the day, kind of thing. It's whatever these, whatever we come up with as a group. I'm sure once it's out there, I'll get some suggestions and some good ideas for tools. And somewhere I have a list of like, here's all the tools we thought about. I don't know if that's in here. No, I probably should put it in here. Oh yeah, here are potential tools. Tuner, metronome. Yeah, a tuner might be nice. Chord charts, alternate tunings, theory, repertoire, just various stuff you might do. Okay. So let me check in. I guess we never checked in the metronome stuff. Okay. So today's goal, and I should also say, I've got a doctor appointment this afternoon, so I'm going to have to leave like 3:15, 3:20, somewhere in there. So it'll be a short session. But our goal is we would like to see these songs come up the first time you run the app. And they're sort of the standard list that lots of people who play this music will know most of these songs, just sort of a standard list of old time songs. And Boil 'Em Cabbage is sort of like the first song people learn on dulcimer. And I don't know, Cripple Creek, Eliza Jane, whatever. You may not even know any of these songs for all I know. Amazing Grace is pretty much popular culture, but the rest are maybe not. But anyway, I'd like to pre-populate those with some tabs and notes so that the first line list comes. But we don't have it now. And what I want to do to start with, well, there's a couple approaches. So somebody had a good Stack Overflow article. How do I preload stuff into Swift data? And that's kind of the question I had, and I've got 2 approaches. One is you can pre-populate a database and set that up beforehand in the app. So it's the first time they run, that database is sitting there. And in some sense, that's kind of nice. It's probably the fastest. The problem, well, 2 problems. One is it's painful to set up because Swift data doesn't support it. Oh my gosh, I hate the metronome sound. I have this one that sounds like you're shooting BBs back and forth at metal plates, the one I had as a kid. And like after you hear that thing whacking along for 5 minutes, like, oh man. But I have to say, as somebody playing, to build up my skill on keeping a steady tempo, a metronome's a good tool. I'm hoping I can come up with some sounds that aren't as orally piercing as my BB one. Even the ones that go tick, tick, tick. They're pretty, I don't know, they have a sharpness to them, but I'm hoping I can get some decent sounds. Haven't looked around yet, but yeah, it's I definitely hear you. All right. But anyway, this database thing, the problem is Swift Data doesn't have a mechanism to pre-populate their database. And the way you do it is you go redefine all your models in core data style, and then you load the database in core data in a separate app, or a special version or something. Now, we did some of that at one point for testing. I forget which app, but we set up an alternate main basically, and that would run just for tests. And you would do kind of the same thing, an alternate main that ran your stuff in core data, produced the database, and then you would manually copy that into your project. And then when you first ran, it would go, okay. If you, yeah, but if you changed anything, like you would have to go back through, recalculate the descriptions in core data and regenerate the stuff and all that stuff. And I mean, I was kind of excited when I saw this, like, oh, it can be done. I mean, I'm not wild about redoing it, but I got to admit, our data model is very flat. It's just got one table with a bunch of fields. It's like, it wouldn't be that hard. But the reason I don't want to do this, and I don't know if, I can't remember if this one does it differently. No. Well, okay. The alternative is, we make it so when the app starts up, it loads the JSON file just like it used to into a structure that matches our query data, which is this array of songs. Okay, so we would create another array of songs, load it with the JSON, copy it into the query, and do a commit, save it, and then they would have that in their database. And that would be fine. I think I'm going to go that way, even though it will be a little slower, that we have to populate this thing the first time. But we've populated a much bigger file. I mean, we had, I don't know, 100,000 lines or something, and that was quick enough. So I think it'll be detect if it's the first, detect if the songs array is empty. If so, load up the JSON, push it out to the songs query field there, and commit, and then go ahead and run the rest of the way. Okay, so I think that's the approach we'll take, even though this is perfectly good and it has some advantages. The reason I'm favoring this one is I'm looking forward to the day where, well, I'm looking forward to a couple things. One is, after we get this out there and real people are using it, they're going to tell me, all these clubs are going to come in and say, you know, well, we always play XYZ, and where's XYZ? You know, St. Anne's Reel, okay, or whatever. And I could imagine that there's 25 songs like that people say, we really wish you had this one on the list. And I'd have to send out a new schema. And then I'm going to have to do something to merge it in with the existing stuff. Okay, so I think that story is kind of in the medium term horizon. And then maybe a longer term one was, we talked about, you might want to export your list and give it to somebody else as sort of their starter list. So I'm in this weekly jam. We have our own list of stuff. I play with a guy who's very, very old time, with a bunch of great old time songs that even if people play songs by the same name, they're not the same version. And I would love to take somebody coming new into that group and say, hey, here's the list of these things. And, you know, you can import, you know, my list, and maybe they can just import the songs. Maybe they can import performances. That would let me do backups and restores. You know, that would all be pretty useful. You know, that somebody might want to merge some lists or that kind of thing. And so I think the starting database one would probably be the nicer one the first time around, but anything in the future would have to go to this more JSON kind of view, I think. And ideally, I'd have these new ones out there on the web somewhere, and we could just do import it from the web and update it from there. So anyway, let's see. So I think the starting point I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to make a new tool. let's see. Maybe metronome. It's a simple one. Um, what we have, what I need. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Pages for new songs and all that stuff. I would love it if other people could provide that, like I don't have to be the guy doing it all the time for sure. I certainly don't want to have to rebuild a new version in my app, although I guess I could, but for ones we provided, but somebody else could provide it. I think that's a very nice opportunity for somebody to give to the community if they want to. Okay. So I'm going to create a new tool though. And that's because the stuff we're doing, I don't really do TDD out at the database level, the UI level. I mean, I have in some cases and maybe some circumstances I might, but in general, I don't. I'm planning on, we're just going to have to do this manually for some of these tests. And really, it's like, if it works, it works. And we see it the first time we pop open this thing, it's not just going to stop or anything. So I'm not too bothered by that per se, but I can't reinstall on a new simulator easily, because if I do, like if I just do an update, do a run, it replaces this, but it keeps all the files and data around. And I don't want to have to go in and like fully delete the thing, and then the next run is going to be extra slow and all that stuff. So I want to provide a tool for makers, and this notion of maker app, at least the terminology of it. Mike Hill is the guy that as far as I know, invented that terminology. But there's sort of a user app and a maker app. There's stuff you as a developer need that users shouldn't do or shouldn't have access to. So it might be something to like go in and get full information on something that the users can't see. So like an example might be this: the first lines view shows some stuff and the jam view shows other stuff, but there's no view that shows me the first lines and the for both Hammered and Mountain, and shows me the performances. And if I were really worried about that stuff, I might want a view that showed me all the data in the database, just so I could make sure what's there. For us, the part of the Maker app I want something that deletes all the stuff in the database. So I want to be able to run. If I run it now, I've got stuff in there. So my new approach wouldn't load anything because it's already sees there's data. So I want to be able to clean this out, run the new version, have it populate. If I ran it again, it should not populate. If I added a new song, it shouldn't populate. But if I did my maker tool and said delete database or clear database, it would erase it. And the next time I ran it would reinstall it. Tap the file. Yeah, there we go. That'd be more fun. Right. Maybe you have to do it in rhythm too, All right. But I'm just going to create another little tile like this called, I'll call it Maker Magic, I guess, in honor of Mike there. So let's do that, and I'll make a maker folder for it. Okay, and I guess I can do this, and well, I may as well grab it all. Paste this in. Whoops. Can I do that? Yeah, there we go. No? What's in there? Nothing. Oh, well. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, delay that. Okay, I'm copying this text, right? Copy. Usually if I paste this, it should create a new file. There it goes. Okay, we'll make this maker tile. Maker tile. Title is Maker Doing Magic. And I don't know what I know there's a little magic wand, but I don't know what it's called. Probably magic.wand, but or magic.wand.stars wand. There it is. Wand and sparkles. Okay. Maker view is going to be a lot like, well, I just want the structure of it. Let's give it a different color. So we don't want the boards or any of that stuff. I don't know if we have a good. I really would like red and white stripes or something. Yellow maybe. Yellow is a good kind of warning color, right? Okay. And then this, well, we just need a button. I don't think we'll need that. Well, with an action. Okay. And then I think we have to, let me go to first line. We're getting the library. Well, I think we want to pass down the. We want the content view, this query. I don't know if I pass that as a binding. We did something to copy things back. Let's see, jamlog. Oh yeah, I'll get there. Okay, so our maker view. Needs access to the model context. Okay, yeah, we just do that. I don't know if there's something useful to do in there, but let's. What does it have? Change. Oh, changes. Okay. Delete. Well, yeah, it should clear the database. Yeah, I think it'd be a separate button. But I don't know if deleting the model is a good thing to do. I'm going to have to look this up. Probably should ask. The thing I'm trying to do is delete a table, or how to delete an object. Passing the object to delete, saving the changes with save, or waiting for auto trigger. Okay. delete all instances. Yeah, that's more what I want. Okay, I think that may be what we want. Try model context to delete. Song, is that the model? I'm not sure what it considers the model here. Is it song? I guess that makes sense. Okay. And this is really for us. Model context dot delete model dot type. I guess song.self is close enough or equivalent. All right. And then just to make background dot red. White. Okay. Find maker view in scope. Okay. But content view. And let's put this guy first. Yeah, I'll give it the devil's one just for grids. Okay, and let's see what it look like. Now, I would love... Oh, okay, that's a little interesting thing. Yeah, I meant to look at that somewhere. I had to put padding on the first thing. There's something about the layout on this that it's got it, but it overwrites it. I'm not sure what is doing that because these are at the same level, but the grid and the title. But anyway, Maker Magic. Okay, we get that. That definitely will burn my eyes out and not let me do this without meaning to. Boy, the look of that is really kind of obnoxious. I don't know. Even a view like this, I have to. Is it overlay capsule? I forget. And do I put previews in these? I think I do. Yeah. We'll see if the preview system wants to work for us today or if we're running the app. I guess padding on there would help. I don't understand what it is that is making that so slow to run. Okay, here it comes. At least it's running today. I couldn't get it to run last week. But it's like if the preview is going to be slower than bringing up the whole app, like what's the point of it? two windows. Is it? No. Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. It should be running in the same one because I think. What's the preparing automatic iPhone simulator? I don't know where that runs. Hopefully it. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Xcode is amazing in many ways, but this is not one of them. I mean, usually when it has this, it's like almost ready to show something, but yeah, I'm kind of willing to give it an extra minute on the first time, but okay, but I don't know. Now watch this take 5 minutes. Building, like, why so many? Is that iPhone 16 Pro? Yeah, okay. Okay, and oh, well. And notice that that padding did fix that problem. That is not it. Okay, you think I would know this stuff. I mean, this is a maker view. It doesn't have to be fancy, but I don't know. I just like it to be a little bit. How to add borders on it. No, we got there. Okay, padding will help. Font title is not a bad thing. Maybe square buttons isn't such a bad thing. Let's take the overlay off, and I thought I just had to do it like that, but font title, give it a big font. That seems like a good thing to pre-run a separate sim. Okay, yeah, it's funny. It's not showing it having. Oh, no, that's not it. When it was running the tests, I said run in parallel, I guess, and I turned that off. But run parallel started up a separate simulator, which I don't mind per se, if it just kept two simulators and bounced back and forth. But it seemed slower than just doing this. Okay, yeah, all right. That definitely, I won't click that by accident, I don't think. Okay, now why are these two jammed? That's so weird. Okay, just peeking back at content view. He's a lazy V-grid. Column spacing 10. Like, why? I did have the padding inside there the first time, but I don't see why that should be needed. Okay, but let me check this. Okay, first lines, I've got a bunch of stuff. Now let's make sure our database thing works. Maker magic, clear the database. Probably would have been good to do a model save as well, but this should be empty now. Okay, it doesn't blow up. That's a good sign. Yeah. If I had more going on that screen, I probably would do that. I mean, this is where you get to live a little dangerously because you're trusting developers to not accidentally do it. But, yeah, I look at the clock. Okay, I catch myself doing it. It's like, not what does it need, but how much time do I have? Oh my goodness. Like, what craziness is this? Okay, what if let's put padding on the outside and see if that helps. Oh, padding horizontal. Okay. Let's run it like this with no padding and make sure I wasn't ignoring the things that were really going wrong there. They should all look moderately spaced out. Okay, they don't. Huh. Now, okay. This had the padding, I believe it was spacing 10. Okay, let's go see what Lazy V Grid says. Make sure whether it's where there's that spacing. Is it everywhere? Alignment horizontal, spacing. Space between the grid and the next item in its parent view. Is it my tiles are lacking padding? No, something's weird. Tile wrapper. Oh, navigation link. Okay, let's put padding here. I'm hoping that puts it around. I don't know why it varies. Yeah, this is bizarre. And I was so happy. I mean, it looked good when we started the day. Like, what have I done? Now maybe I need a little. Oh, there, that's much better. Okay, yeah, I will take that. And it came up not covering it. Okay. Well, I guess I did two things then. So fix spacing. Well, add padding around each tile and create a maker view with clear database. Okay. And I think I pulled it out here, right? Nobody has padding anymore. Okay, except this. Padding horizontal is making sure that has some space. Okay. And I should rotate just to be sure. Yeah, he sits okay. Pull him back. Okay. All right. So I think we're set. Let's close tabs to the right. Okay, and I don't think we threw away the stuff to do what we need to do. So let's see, where is that? It wasn't calendar. IO. Okay. Now, do I remember how this works? Okay, so library. All right, so these songs have nothing to do with the other songs unless I make them. But that's okay, because I can make them. Okay, so the read, I give it the JSON file, which is first lines, songs.json. So songs. Okay, and I don't think anybody calls this anymore because they used to when we weren't doing persistence. Right. Okay. So we just have to get this at the right time. Okay, and I think this should be on content view. And it's one of these state things on up here. I think on up here is called after everything's ready, but before it actually does anything, shows anything. Okay, so that, well, that. All right. Let's just say if songs.empty print songs empty. Okay. Print songs exist. All right. So I guess what I'm making sure with this is that if songs doesn't exist yet because it hasn't loaded the Swift data or whatever reason, but I want to make sure the songs is there before I start manipulating it. Okay. Let's run this and make sure. So a little bit of a spike, I guess you'd say, just to kind of make sure we understand the way onAppear interacts with Swift data and with the view. Okay, so I should have seen wow. This is content view, so this is the first thing. Let's just do a print regardless. Print hi. Oh, was it there? Oh, okay. Thank you. Don't know why I didn't see that. Okay, good. I guess I got a break here to be sure what's going on, don't I? I'll better rerun. And that makes sense because we did delete the thing already once. Okay. Yeah, so we have nothing visible. Apparently songs is there. Everything's loaded data-wise. Okay, so it didn't turn it into nil or anything. It's just empty. Okay. Right. And now, if song's empty, well, we're going to load. Otherwise, we're doing nothing. Okay, so, all right. Now this, okay, well, this thing, it really is our library IO. Library equals, I think it's library.read. Library.read file name. Okay, so okay, and at this point we have a bunch of songs in there, and we can say, I don't want to touch it too much. I guess I'm going to say songs.forEach songs.append $0. Oh, and this we're going to commit songs. Okay. Songs? Oh, I got to do. I have to have a context. Is that on the app? Model container. Okay. Well, I guess just like this, I'm going to have one of these contexts because you do a context.insert, really. Okay, so let's put this up here. And that's a try catch thing or no? Okay. Oh, I can stop that. Okay, so read the songs. This is not songs.forEach, it's library.songs.forEach. Insert. Now, okay, yeah. Let's try this. Take that out. Continue. Good sign, I guess, but boom. Okay. Coding keys, songs and value. No value associated with songs. Oh, I think maybe this. Let's open up library. No, we had that. String value underscore songs, no value associated with coding keys. Let's take a look at that. Oh, it was just songs. Okay, we changed things around a little. All right. And if I got that, I don't need this. Yeah, we had interactions with, okay, so that, no, let's pick one that would actually have something. There we are. Okay. So that actually wasn't so bad. So I guess at this point, I mean, I should see my HD lines and I should see my mountain dulcimer lines, the numbers. I'll go back and jam log. Okay, now I don't have any dates on these performances because we deleted all those. I can add one. Let's add Mississippi Sawyer, and let's add one. We'll modify our calendar. I'll pretend I was busy on the 1st, and we'll save a performance there. Okay, and now my last played is good, and let me add a new song. My new song. And I'm not going to make any, I don't need the rest of that. Okay. Oh no. Oh, there it is. There it is. My new song. All right. And now if we quit, and we run again, I should see my new song. So it did not reload the database. Yeah, now we're going to clear it. Yeah, I think you're right. I would like that. Yeah, I think we need a little more there. Okay, but if I go in here now, there's nothing. I'll quit the app. I guess I can rerun this. Should still do it. There's nothing about. That was pretty quick, right? Let's see if they're there. Okay, they're there, but my new song is not because he's not in the base list. Okay, I'm really happy. Okay, interrupted. Yeah, that's simulator stuff. Okay, let's commit this. initial load of songs if there are none present. All right, and I don't think the startup felt particularly slow. Let me do it again and make sure I agree with myself. Okay, so we'll delete it. Stop it. Run it without the simulator. 1,000, maybe second and a half. Okay, I can live with that for sure. Okay. Cool. Yeah. This is great. All right. So I think your inclination to put a warning there, though, I think is really a good one, and I should not ignore that. Let's move the button to the top. Actually, I'm gonna pull this to a method at least. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Clear database. Okay. And put a spacer. And let's see if we can get out of Maker View. This should be able to be done in there. Okay. So a warning, I guess, is that, do we get control back from an alert? Swift UI confirmation dialog. Yeah. Well, that's the kind of thing we want. Text field. Okay. I don't need to do the toolbar thing, but let's see what we can. Well, maybe this is not as good as I want. Okay, well, let's add the state. Okay. I like that he's putting the destructive on there. I mean, that's good habit. Okay, confirmation dialog. I always forget the word var. I guess I feel like state should be enough. That's another environment. He's still trying. He gives up. Yeah, that's definitely the thing to use. The pattern's a little weird there, though, isn't it? So you present it if the model is modified, present confirmation dot toggle. I guess I would have expected we put our action. Well, I'll do it the way I think it's supposed to be done, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, this. This should go down here, according to my theory. We'll get some spacing figured out. Okay. So I think that should do the thing and then dismiss, and this cancel. I don't know what, if that's automatically dismisses the confirmation dialog. We'll see. It's trying. It's the best I can say for it. Yeah, that's what I think is the deal. They're doing stuff on the toolbar, and that just feels off. But this should be show confirmation.toggle. I hate running the app to do this, but I'm not sure. If I get this going, I'll pull it up. That's a format thing. That's the spacer doing that. And notice they give it red styling because it's destructive. Okay, and that does that. All right, let's. I'll see if I can just do two spacers here and one at the top, and check the spacing first. Well, it's a little. It gives it a little more room on the bottom. It's not 1/3, 2/3, but I'll live with it. All right, so that brings up that. Cancel takes it out. Clear database really does it. Oh, and that dismiss. Okay, probably don't want that dismiss. I guess the dialog dismissal is already being done. Okay, and then I don't know if I can ask model context dot for. Well, I really want to do is save, and I want to do that in the other one too. I should try, yeah. Okay, so let's go back here. And I can't do anything about it if it does. I guess this is more debugging, more logging for me, right? Oh, we're at 3:06. I got about 10, 15 minutes. Thank you. I'm very good at forgetting that sort of thing. All right. Okay, so I do think that's okay. There's one more thing I think we can do there, but let's make sure this maker view thing works first. And actually, I think this stuff can go up there as well as it can. I think to keep the top level just kind of fairly clean. But this, okay, that should all be doable there. And I don't think a blank line would hurt that. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was wondering, if I could use the context to query it and find out, but I don't have access to it here. I guess maybe I'm confused. How are these guys getting access again? Oh, the songs fills the library and feeds the library down. But the question would be the jam log, because he's the one that edits things. Oh, he just inserts, right? Yeah. And you can insert from anywhere without having to have access to the list of songs. I think I'll let it go. But maybe maybe put some more state. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we're going to message equals nothing. And let's put this here if it fails. Can I now can I force a failure? How can I do that? Okay. Can I say throw error? Error dot unimplemented? Okay, I'll take it. Type in here. Thank you. Throw error. Well, I hate mucking it with it. I think I create an enum. Yeah. My error, enum my error is an error. Okay, I'm just going to throw this in for a one-time test. Okay, we should get something there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, this should get a error message. Clear database, yes. What? It would probably be good if I showed the message. I'm not sure there's much you can do, but okay. So if I clear it, I should get a message. My oops. Okay, and if I cancel, that should clear that out. Okay. Now let's take this out. Take this out. I mean, there's not much you can do except read that message and try and figure out what's going on, I guess. But if you cancel, you shouldn't see the message. Okay. Well, let's go there. The thing I'm thinking, though, is there's a way in Swift data. It's bulk load. You can turn off autosave. Yeah, you can turn off autosave while you're doing it, and then save it at the end. Well, no. Well, I don't know how much it saves. No, I don't care about relationship. I mean, large is probably not the issue because I'm talking a couple hundred, a few hundred. Well, what I knew was or saw somewhere, and it's sort of a normal database thing. If you're doing a bulk load of a table, you can turn off the auto save and then do your inserts and then do a save at the end. But you're right, Mudshark. It's just not that much data. By the time you've gone to the disk and found the file, that's far more work probably. It's just there is a tiny pause there. I mean, there's a 1 second pause that's a little annoying. Yeah, and I think it's because it's on a pier, so it's white while it does that. That's pretty quick. I assume everything's there. Whoops. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. Um, so let me capture what we did here. 2502. Initial load of song data. Oh, I guess this is the title. Populate an empty database. So we made a maker magic tile with to clear the database, and we load database from songs.json if the songs are empty when we start. Okay. And I think that covers that. Okay. Well, that works good for my timing. So, yeah, I think we got what I wanted out of this. And I mean, these aesthetic things, I like to have these be slightly different colors, have a little more personality on them. So far we just have like 4 or 5 main colors, but especially this one, I would just want to make it a bizarre color, maybe a solid red with white letters or whatever. But that's not really, I mean, users aren't going to see that. They will see the fact that these all look the same though. I mean, the icon helps, the name helps, but yeah. Anyway, well, good. I think we're up to what I wanted to be out of persistence for this thing. We're ready to go to a different tool. I don't know if I've let the calendar gel enough. It'll probably either be the calendar or the metronome we'll take a look at. Or maybe these things. Yeah. Okay. We'll do a little bit of cleanup from the existing stuff perspective and then move on to one of those. All right. Thanks for joining. I'll catch you tomorrow, 2 to 4:30 and 7 to 9:30 p.m. UTC. Bye-bye.